Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Town, and today I'm bringing another horror movie review for you. And since I happen to review the first Carrie film from 1976, the classic horror movie, I've decided that it'd be in order for me to review the very sequel to this awesome film. And this one is none other than The Rage, Carrie 2. So this movie was released in 1999. It is an American supernatural horror film, according to Wikipedia. This film was directed by Kat Shia and written by Raphael Moreau. And this movie stars Emily Burgle as our main lead, our main character, Rachel. And basically, well, I'm going to be kind of trying to summarize the movie, giving you the main plot without spoiling anything. So please bear with me. I'm going to try to do my level best for you to kind of get the main concepts of the film straight, the main facts, the main elements, without spoiling, without ruining the experience for you in any way, shape, or form. So basically, Rachel is, it takes place around that high school, the film, and Rachel has a friend, her best friend, as a matter of fact, her only friend, I believe, and her name is Lisa. And basically, the two of them are pretty close, right? They're getting in the bus together. They go to school, and yes, they're pretty tight, all right. But then basically something happened to Lisa, and well, the thing that happened, which I don't want to spoil, is gonna lead to something pretty traumatic, pretty scary, pretty awful, right? And needless to say that Rachel is gonna be affected by that, and she's gonna have nightmares, and she's gonna be troubled by it, right? And basically, Rachel is gonna kind of figure out that sorry about that, that this whole thing has to do with some jocks, some football players who go to our school. And basically, she's gonna be convinced that they had something to do with the unfortunate turn of events that precipitated this tragic occurrence, right, that happened to take place, right? So basically, Rachel is gonna kind of develop these photographs, and there's gonna be a police investigation, and yes, the sheriff, his name is Sheriff Kelton, and the also we have the school guidance counselor who happens to be Sue Snell, yes, who was in the first film, who is one of the survivors of the whole, massacre from the first, with the Carrie, right, in the first film. So basically, there's gonna be, the school is gonna be cooperating with the police, with local law enforcement, in order to bring the criminals to justice, right? And Rachel is gonna be kind of a key. I guess she's gonna turn out to be quite helpful in that, in the sense that she's gonna try her level best to help, turn in any kind of evidence that might lead to the arrest of the guilty party, of the guilty people concerned, right? So basically, she's gonna be receiving some threats because of that, and she's gonna be kind of in pretty much like, you know kind of in a hotspot, in the hotspot, and basically she also happens to have some kind of ability that basically happens to be triggered whenever I believe that she's feeling cornered, right? That the walls are closing in on her. Whenever she feels a little bit, kind of upset, I guess, her ability, kind of works, for lack of better terms. And this is how she's gonna be, obviously, trying her level best to, keep it kind of not expose it too much, but sometimes it's difficult for her. And this all happened when she was a child, as I didn't mention, but basically her mother, Barbara Lang, happened to basically, after she's seen what she could do, she decided to give her up to adoption to that foster family. And these two, her foster parents, Boyd and Emmeline, are pretty awful people. And they're mean. They don't respect her that much. So especially the father, he's kind of a jerk, right? And so she doesn't have a lot of friends either, even prior to what happened. But she happens to have a dog, and I forgot the name of the breed, a Basset Hound, right? A Basset Hound. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, she's pretty close with her dog. And yes, I didn't mention, but one of the jocks, his name is Jesse Ryan, is gonna take a liking to Rachel, and the two of them are gonna grow pretty close as the movie goes on, right? They're gonna be, yes, seeing each other and so on and so forth. But he happens to go to school with these jocks too. He has this girl, Tracy Campbell, who I believe they used to be together, but I think they broke it up or something. And Jesse, ended it or something like that. And Tracy never actually happened to get over him. So she keeps trying to reclaim him, to get him back, even though, yes, he's pretty much head over heels for Rachel at this point, right? So this is pretty much how the movie goes. And I didn't mention, but yeah, those mean bullies, Mark and Eric, are pretty much like the bad guys of the film, and they're actually, yes, the real scumbags who are gonna try to silence Rachel at some point, because when they learn that she might be in on them, you know, she might be onto them, right? They decide that it's time to put a little, to put a scare on her, to frighten her. But yeah, obviously something happens there too, which I don't want to spoil for you. But basically, near the end of the film, as the movie draws to a close, there's gonna be that big party that Mark is gonna throw at some mansion, his family mansion, right? And as they go there, as they decide to, basically, they're having this party, Rachel is invited. But as a matter of fact, yes, there's a little surprise for her. And I won't tell you what it is, but basically, think Carrie, right? I mean, that's the same concept. So it's going to be pretty bad. But then Rachel is going to obviously react to that in a way that might, change all these high school students' lives for good, right? And basically, yes, teach them a lesson, so to speak, as well. So this is pretty much how it goes. I don't believe that I've omitted anything that was that relevant, but yeah, this is the movie. This is the mood of the film. So Carrie, The Rage, Carrie 2. By the way, I really like the title. It has a nice ring to it, right? The Rage, Carrie 2. But this movie is so awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. For one thing, I think that the story is interesting. The way it is shot, the whole high school setting is pretty adequate. The characters are very, very, pretty much good for the most part. I mean, especially Rachel. I did like Jesse too. Most of them are jerks. They are very unlikable, and they're written out to be this way. But a lot of characters are pretty good too, right? So let's move on to these actors. So we have Emily Burgle, who plays Rachel Lang, our main character, right? And then we have Jason London, who plays Jesse Ryan, who is one of the Child, the football players, who I thought was also one of my favorite characters, one of the rarest characters I happen to like in this film, because they're all pretty much very dislikable, very unlikable. Then we have Dylan Brunel, who happens to play, one of the bullies, one of the football players, but a real dirtbag, Mark Bank. Again, Dylan Brunel is a pretty good actor, and I know that he was just written out to be this way, but he was very dislikable in this film. Very, very dislikable as a character, I mean. Then we have J. Smith Cameron as Barbara Lang, who did a pretty good job as well. We have Amy Irving as Sue Snell once again, and she's a little older now, but she's a school guidance counselor, and also she tries to get through to Rachel to speak to her a little bit, kind of like it reminds us about Carrie and the gym teacher. It's a little bit of a similar relationship, right? She tries her level best to be to be nice to her, to be friendly, but Rachel's not gonna answer kindly to that. So I thought that was pretty sad, you know, to have that. I didn't mention it because she was only trying to help. Then we have Zachary Ty Bryan as Eric Stark, a jock, and I absolutely dislike him. I hate his guts, and for those who have watched it, you obviously know why. We have John Doe as Boyd, Rachel's foster father. Charlotte Ayana plays Tracy Campbell, and who's the cheerleader, who's the one interested in Jesse. And also, yes, she was in other movies as well. She was in Jawbreaker, 1999. We have Rachel Blanchard, who plays Monica Jones, who happens to be Tracy's best friend, who is the girl with wearing the glasses, if I'm not mistaken. That one is really dislikable as well. She's pretty, yes, she's one of those mean girls, so I really didn't like her at all. We have Mina Suvari, who plays Lisa Parker, right? Who was Rachel's only and best friends, right? Only Rachel's best and only friend, right? Makes more sense to say it like that. We have Elijah Craig, who plays Chuck Butter, Eddie K. Thomas as Arnold, Gordon Clapp as Mr. Stark, Stephen Ford as Coach Walsh, Kat Shea, who is the director who plays the deputy DA in this film. That's pretty interesting. Deputy DA. We have Robert D. Rayford, who plays the senior DA. Rhoda Griffiths as Mrs. Porter, saleswoman, Sissy Spacek in the flashbacks. Yes, and Clint Jordan plays Sheriff Kelton, right? So those are the main actors, the main characters, right? So I thought that this movie was pretty good, right? And especially, yes, I didn't mention, but Mina Suvari, who plays Lisa, was also pretty good as well in this film. And obviously, most of you will remember her from her role in the movie American Pie in that same year, 1999, right? So she's pretty good in this film as well. But yeah, The Rage Carrie 2 is such a good film, especially with the whole kind of, the concept of the first film is still there, because most of you would ask themselves, how is it related to Carrie? Well, it kind of is it's loosely tied to the first film, but obviously I don't want to tell you how exactly because that would be spoiling the film altogether. But there is a little tie-in in this, a little tying up, right, to the first film. And you'll find out for yourselves how, for those who haven't watched it. For those who have watched it, you already know. But I like how the movie progresses, right, from the beginning to the end. At the beginning, basically, we have young Rachel, who's played by Kayla Campbell. Didn't mention that. But yes, basically, yes, whenever, whenever Rachel uses the ability that she has, sometimes I believe that the sequences are in black and white, the scenes, and I thought that was a pretty nice touch. I really enjoyed that, and it's scary as well. The nightmare sequences are terrifying in this film. There are a lot of jump scares, but they're really efficiently used. So needless to say that this is a classic. This is a really good film. I really liked the whole bully revenge angle to this film, this whole feel of you can do wrong and get away with it. So I really enjoyed how, the character of Rachel kind of, it kind of grows on you. I don't think she's as much a misfit or an outcast as Carrie from the previous film, right? This one actually talks, right? I'm kidding. No, I mean she does. Obviously, she's less impressionable. She's less awkward, but she also has some secret of her own, right? Which you will find out for yourselves as you watch this film. But really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the whole kind of police investigation to it with the sheriff and everything. I thought that this movie really kind of, it plays on so many different levels, so many different. I like how the genre of fear, right? Of it's like a thriller, but in a way that kind of mutates into horror as well. So it's such a good kind of combination of things. So I really thought that this movie deserves a lot of recognition. And it actually was a very successful film at the box office, as it made a lot of millions of dollars. But most people didn't like this film. They consider it to be bad. I honestly don't know why. I thought that this movie was awesome. Actually, as good as the previous one, if not a little bit better, to be honest with you. I don't even know. But yeah, so this is a movie that is very underrated. And sadly, many people dislike this film for some reason, which I'm unaware of at that time, at this time. But The Rage Carrie 2 is a classic, in my opinion. It is a good horror film. It's a good sequel to Carrie, the first film from 1976. It offers a good kind of sequel, kind of a similar concept, right? A movie with the same theme, but being a different, being its own film as well, right? Like it's different yet similar, right? I don't know if that makes any sense, right? So it's a pretty good film. I really like also the ending, the final twist. Obviously, there's gonna be, like the previous film also had. The previous film had a twist in the end. I didn't mention it, but it was pretty scary. This one also has this kind of scary twist, scary ending, right at the end. Kind of like, I guess you could call it some kind of a cliffhanger, some kind of a thing to keep you, an ending to keep you thinking, right? Right, to end like that. Sorry about that if you hear fly in the background. It's bothering me a little bit, but what can you do, right? So, anyhow, yes, so I liked the twist in the end. I liked pretty much everything, how the story progresses, and also how Rachel's kind of ability is going to be shown, is going to be displayed. I really liked the whole film, the whole vibe, the whole everything. So if I were to rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, I believe that I would give it another 9 out of 10. I gave the previous film a 9 out of 10. Now this one, I could give it a little bit more, I guess, but out of respect for the original, I think that 9 ought to fit that bill. So I'd give it, this movie, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It was a pretty good film for what it was. Really interesting, really enjoyable. It's not so much about the characters, as I was wrong before to mention that. It's more about the story itself. And there are a few good characters there, even though most of them are dirtbags. But yes, the Rachel and Jesse and Lisa are good characters in my opinion. So it has a few redeeming points. And I don't believe that the film is about you loving the characters, but it's more about showing you that the movie basically is like, it's a revenge kind of film, right? A kind of payback thing, right? With the character being bullied, being, being tormented kind of by these evil people, and them deciding to take a stand and put an end to all that. So this is basically how the movie works, how the movie operates. So like I said, 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the whole high school setting. Everything was cool in this film. And so I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. So what about you folks? What did you think about this film? Did you like it? Did you hate it? That's The Rage Carrie 2. Please let me know in the comment section down below, as I would really like to hear about your thoughts and views on this film. And what did you think about the original? Any thoughts are more than welcome here. No disrespect, nothing like that. No criticism, just please, let's hear about your thoughts. Alright folks, thank you for watching, and God willing, I'll see you on the next review for another horror movie. In the meantime, stay safe. Take care. This is Horror Town signing off.